Exercises are a key component of preparedness. They provide the whole community with the opportunity to shape planning, assess and validate capabilities, and address areas for improvement. This video will summarize the progression of an exercise and discuss how each phase of the HSEEP cycle works to create an effective exercise that improves preparedness. Threats, hazards, and risks. From natural hazards such as hurricanes to man-made incidents like cyber attacks, understanding potential threats and how they can affect a community is the first step to building a successful exercise program. Threat and risk assessments help communities identify and understand their most challenging threats and hazards. Preparedness priorities. Preparedness priorities are decided upon in partnership with senior leadership and stakeholders from the whole community. These are the areas a community looks to strengthen based on the threat and risk assessment. They provide direction for all preparedness activities, including individual exercises. Program management. Program management involves planning and managing the Integrated Preparedness Planning Workshop, or IPPW. This workshop uses the preparedness priorities and corresponding capabilities to build a multi-year schedule of preparedness activities called the Integrated Preparedness Plan, or IPP. This sets the stage to begin focusing on the design and development of individual exercises. Individual exercises. Design and development activities are carried out during exercise planning meetings. These meetings are utilized to define purpose and scope, develop objectives, plan for evaluation, write the scenario, and finalize exercise documentation. Preparedness priorities and the corresponding capabilities help define the exercise purpose. Elements to be considered while defining the scope are exercise type, participation level, location, duration, and other considerations. The purpose and scope inform the exercise objectives and provide the framework for further design and development. Objectives are the cornerstone of any exercise. Clearly established and SMART objectives allow for effective capability assessment and validation. The objectives link to exercise evaluation planning actions, such as choosing the evaluation approach and determining evaluation tools and methods. The primary evaluation tools are exercise evaluation guides, or EEGs, which are developed specifically toward each exercise objective, align capability target, and critical tasks for data collection and capturing performance results. With the evaluation criteria determined, exercise planners can develop a scenario that will provide the optimal conditions for players to meet the objectives. A scenario is the simulated sequence of events designed to drive player action or discussion for a focused and well-defined exercise. Scenarios should be based on the threats, hazards, and risks facing a community to provide realistic and necessary context for evaluation. The exercise planning team conducts planning meetings to develop, review, and refine exercise documentation. Exercise documentation gives facilitators, controllers, and evaluators the context and boundaries necessary to address the exercise objectives. While the documentation used will depend on the type of exercise, discussion-based and operations-based exercise documentation both provide background information to set the stage for conduct, reference materials for participants, instructions and guidelines for exercise staff, and tools to collect information for evaluation and improvement planning. Exercise conduct. Strong design, development, and evaluation planning allows exercise players to easily interact with the scenario, giving evaluators the opportunity to observe and collect data to determine if the objectives have been met. During exercise conduct, evaluators observe and collect data based on the discussions or actions of players related to the capability targets and critical tasks identified in the EEGs to be analyzed during the evaluation phase. Well-documented observations are key to quality data analysis. The evaluation team continues to collect data during wrap-up activities, allowing players to provide feedback through hot washes and participant feedback forms. Controllers and evaluators may also ask players questions for clarification purposes and collect documents created by players during the exercise. Exercise staff attend post-exercise debriefs to discuss observations and clarify any concerns or questions that may have been identified during conduct. Evaluation. The evaluation team compiles all of the data collected to create a fact-based record. The data is organized according to the exercise objectives and EEGs, then analyzed to determine the degree to which objectives were met. Data analysis. Thorough data analysis identifies what happened, why it happened, and its impact. This is critical for developing, recording, and reporting exercise outcomes. After-action report. An after-action report, or AAR, is the primary mechanism for reporting exercise outcomes and identifying strengths and areas for improvement. Typically, the areas for improvement are documented in the Improvement Plan, or IP, which becomes aligned with the AAR to create the AAR-IP. Improvement planning. The draft AAR-IP is distributed prior to the after-action meeting, or AAM, which is a forum to review and finalize the document, reaching consensus on strengths, areas for improvement, and associated corrective actions. After-action meeting. At the AAM, corrective actions are finalized and assigned to the proper jurisdiction, organization, or stakeholder as part of larger improvement planning activities. Realistic deadlines should be agreed upon. Improvement planning is an ongoing process by which identified areas for improvement from exercises are turned into a to-do list of measurable corrective actions with the intent to strengthen capabilities. Evaluate and improve. As corrective actions are completed, individual exercise outcomes influence the overall exercise program, feeding back into the integrated preparedness cycle. Program reporting. Program reporting provides senior leaders and stakeholders with recurring analysis of issues, trends, and key outcomes from all exercises conducted as part of the exercise program. These reports influence future IPPWs and IPPs. With this information, you now understand the progression through the HSEEP and integrated preparedness cycles and how each element is used in producing a high-quality exercise program that increases preparedness. Good luck!